Oh no, it's just more. You have to have, I feel like
It's
one the
just
same color all the way down is the best if it's black or white.
it's just
Outside of
crisp,
that, I'm
dude.
not a like I wasn't a fan when the NFL did like the color rush jerseys and they did all red and all purple and like
I
nah.
like
Give
I
me all
like
white, give me all black.
there are some jerseys that like is a white top and the team color bottom or something, or an alternate bottom that look pretty clean. But um honestly, the best thing that the NFL ever did was switch to Nike. Man,
Yeah.
their jersey game upped
Same
significantly.
with the NBA. Same with
Hmm.
the NBA. Um I still think anyone that has the Jordan brand jerseys got the coldest. You got the coldest uniform package
Yeah,
of all
I
time.
mean, but you got Oregon, I think Oregon's just all they got that they have to work with their jerseys is nasty. But in the pros, yeah, I think the big game changer was them going to Nike or Jordan.
Do you follow Barstool Sports?
I mean, I see their stuff. I don't think I follow them.
Who do you know the dude with the slick back hair that always talks about college football?
Yeah, what's his? Yeah, Brendan
Brendan
or
Walker.
whatever his
Brendan
name is.
Walker. There we
Yeah.
go. He they're doing a thing today. I saw a video today that they're ranking the best color combinations.
Mm,
It's those videos where it says it's that new trend where it's like speak when you see a better color combination than
yeah.
this or like a better player than this or something like that. But they did
Hmm.
colors, and then they started off with UCLA's golden like baby bluish, and it said speak when you see a team with a better colors. And they stopped at they had a big argument between LSU and North Carolina.
For this for
LSU
this is for basketball or for football?
football football. Well, he was like North Carolina has the best uniforms in basketball, best uniforms in football. He's like that's just the best. That's like the perfect color combination you could ever ask for.
I don't
It's like
know if they have the
I think you're
cleanest
right.
uniform. I think I can't even lie, not even being a North Carolina guy, they do have great color combinations for their school colors, but I feel like they could do better being a Jordan because they're Jordan, right?
It's
I would assume.
yeah. Well, think about like Bama and like all these like kind of top teams. They just kind of keep it like Bama's always kept it simple. It's like
Yeah.
a historic type jersey. Um, you know, that's the same with like basketball when it comes to Duke, North Carolina, Kansas. Those top teams, like the historic teams. They just kind of kept it the same. They never made any like
Yeah.
drastic. There's no like crazy jersey combinations like you'd see with like Oregon or something like someone like that.
Yeah. Well, I think with those ones, especially with the teams that have been those blue bloods for a long time, they want to keep it classic with a lot of those uniforms because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they were when they were popular, and they just make little tweaks to it. But I don't know, I just feel like you can have those classic. I mean, it's North Carolina. They can have five different jersey combinations if they want to, and I don't know how many they have, but get a couple sets with some alternates and some nice little charcoal grays or something like that. I don't know.
Are you talking for football or basketball? All of it.
Both, yeah, I think, and
I
maybe
would
it's not.
love. I loved when they pulled out the blacks for basketball.
Yeah, those are
Oh,
tough. Yeah.
those are nice. I like when they for the game that they do those in the. Normally it's in the Jordan Classic or whatever.
Hmm.
They'll pull out the blacks. Um, but let's just get what episode. This is episode 49.
Yeah, baby.
It is. It is Episode 49. Welcome to People Kitchen Hook Podcast. Get right to it. Everyone, obviously the big subject is the whole NIL state and how the UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka pretty much exposed and opened up a huge can of worms, in my opinion, when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to the state of the NIL. I've always said it from the start that it's going to turn into the wild, wild west if it's not policed right, or if there's no rules or regulations and stuff. It's just going to turn into a free for all for everyone, essentially. And you can almost do anything and get away with it. I mean, there's small rules like the pay to play rules, like you can't do that, which I still don't understand the difference between
Mm-hmm.
that and NIL. But I don't know. What's your take on it? I know we texted about it a little bit yesterday, and I know you made some comments. But what's your
Yeah, I
thoughts
think, well,
initially?
just initially, like, I think we talked about this on an episode when NIL first honestly was introduced, and maybe we had been in it for a little bit, and um, things like this, when they're implemented, whether it's a new rule in the gameplay or new rule scholarship or money wise like this, there's always there's always things that will happen that will be the cause of the need for legislate more legislation on this stuff, and like passing rules and regulations and what you can and can't do. The second thing is, I think it's just like you talked about before you hit record. It's a little bit of a combination of lack of oversight on the agent and the player's part of not getting whatever they agreed to in writing. And two, I don't know this for a fact, so don't come at me if this is incorrect. But the fact that an assistant allegedly offered $100,000 to this player and now it's not being paid out, I just feel like that's over the assistant's pay grade. I don't know. Maybe the head coach does give them that freedom to offer NIL money and stuff, but I feel like that would be a head coach thing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well, because that coach even said, he's like, it didn't come from me, so it's not true. Like,
Mm,
I get the people's stance that are saying, would you show up to work if you were promised a certain amount of money, but they paid you a different amount of money? No, no one would,
mm-hmm,
obviously. But I would make sure that there's a contract stating that that
mm-hmm,
is what I'm supposed to be making. Because from the start, to me, it came off as fishy when it says verbally offered. Okay, well,
mm-hmm.
how many kids do you hear are verbally committing somewhere, but then 2 months later, oh hey coach, I'm gonna go
I'm
actually this
reopening
place.
my recruitment.
There you go, right there. Let me just slam the door right back into your guys' face,
Yeah.
because it's true. Put that, you hear that verbally. Okay, can we get that in writing? Can I see that in writing, please? Because if that's
Mm-hmm.
the case, if I can get that in writing and we can sign papers, sign documents, all that stuff to make sure that's the case, I'm here. Sign me up. I'll start. When does practice start? When do I have to move in? When do
Yeah.
you want me to start learning the offense?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the it's the verbal part. Like,
The
to me, that's just like, that's the biggest red flag. That's just being dumb. That's just being, when six figures is on the line, pen and
yeah,
paper
I need that
every
in
single
writing.
time.
I need that in writing. The here's my thing too. Like, does the player have a right to be upset that they aren't getting what they said they were promised? Yes. Like, I would be upset as well, kind of like you
Absolutely.
were saying. But for one, at a school like UNLV, and I imagine they're able to generate some solid NIL money in Las Vegas. But
I'd hope.
this is something I was talking about the other day when this first came out was I think what we need to remember and what players and recruits need to remember is a vast majority of college athletes are not getting any NIL money. Like,
No.
like even these small D1s, mid-major D1s, they're having a hard time raising enough NIL money to, for it to go around the roster. They might be able to raise some to get some top recruits or whatever, but if you think you're going, you're getting a college roster spot and there's going to be some for sure NIL money there, you got to think again, because these people that are providing the NIL money aren't just going to, um, they're paying for marketability basically. And so, like, if you're not a marketable athlete that's going to bring in some revenue for them or some notoriety for them, you're not going to see that NIL money. And I think
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, like, it's sending the message of like these college athletes are owed NIL money when it's like, I feel like that's a privilege to be able to get some NIL money.
Mm-hmm. No, it's to me, it's just made up to seem like they almost it seems in a way that he won a couple games, got the team ranked, and they stormed in and said, "Hey, I need this money." But I don't know. I mean, I just seen a thing that I want to listen to at some point where his agent actually is on Sirius XM Sports. It's a minute 57 clip. All the clips or the quote thing out here says is Coach Barry Odom told me $3K a month, take it or leave it. I mean, to me, this is just a lot of he said, she said, he said, she said stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, he said that. No,
Absolutely.
he said that.
I agree.
You're not gonna win this argument. To me, you're not
And
gonna win.
yeah, and like you said, when it's not in writing, you can't hold anybody to anything unless it's in a text message or an email. But if it's just verbally said, like you can't corroborate that. So to me, it's like, man, you're giving up your year of eligibility and honestly a good year, which I'm guessing he's on full scholarship. You're
Mm-hmm.
giving up a solid season with your UNLV team when it's not promised that you'll get anywhere, that you'll get some NIL money anyway. Because here's the thing. It's kind of like I quoted that tweet or the other day when I saw the breakdown of percentages for like people that hit the transfer portal and didn't find a home. Like, it was a lot of players that hit the portal that didn't find a place.
Yeah.
And so there's that side of it, that the grass ain't always greener. But two, did you look at this quarterback's stats? Did you look at his stat line?
Average.
Yeah, especially like
I
his
was
his
I was
his his throwing numbers, like his passing numbers kind of across the board were very subpar, especially like his completion percentage. I think it was like under 50%. And so,
48%, I think.
yeah, and so yeah, you can run it and you were 3-0 with UNLV, but I feel like in today's world of football, if you're a quarterback, you got to be able to sling that thing at least a little bit
Damn.
at a higher clip than that.
He's not even on. Damn, they did work quick. He's not even on the ESPN roster anymore.
Really
Gee.
removed
Yeah,
everybody.
no, going back to that one thing, it says the final numbers of the 2024 NCAA college basketball transfer portal. D1 22% uncommitted, D2 61. That's so sad.
Hmm.
61 uncommitted D2 guys because they thought different, or someone was probably telling them different, or they didn't, but they were mad because they had to work hard. Like, that sucks.
Here, I'm gonna say
Total of
one thing though.
35% uncommitted.
I'm gonna say one thing though, like about the D2 one, or like kind of just transfers in general, is some of those numbers might be kids getting basically cut. You and I know both know how it goes on a college
Yeah,
staff.
that's
Like
true. That's
there's
true. That's true.
sometimes that as a staff you decide like, hey, this guy we gave him a full scholarship. It's not working out and it's not a good fit. So you kind of push him into the portal, which is better, ends up being probably better for both sides. But so that might be some of it, but 65% at the D2 level, I would be willing to bet a very large chunk of that is kids that were ill advised of like, oh, you should hit the transfer portal because you can go here, and then it doesn't end up working out.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm not trying to like, I wasn't bagging on them. It's just,
No, no, I
I
know.
wish there was a way that we could. I wish there was a way we could educate them in a way to say, hey, the odds are highly, highly stacked against you if you want to
Yeah,
transfer. D2 or D1, obviously not. I mean, everyone's looking for. That's a different game. To me, that is a much different. Yes, there's talent at the D2 level. Don't get me wrong at all, at all. There's a lot of talent, but the athleticism at the D1 level and the size is much different. Much different. Um, D1, it was 1,595 plus committed out of 2,300 or 2,035. D2 was 395 of 1,020 were committed. So, like you said, 35% of college basketball transfers left without a new home. Grass ain't
yeah,
greener
and
on the other side, folks.
I think that's um, it's just a testament of like, yes, if you feel the need to utilize your ability to transfer in this day and age in college sports, do that, especially if it's well thought out and kind of there's a plan in place once that does happen. But I guess the advice I would give is don't jump the gun on it. Like you got to make sure it's the right move for one and that you have a place to land afterwards. But also, is it just a matter of like, I just need to put in more time with this program? Like, they have plans for me. It might not be the situation I want it to be right now, but do I need to stick it out? Because a lot of times I think um, it just takes a little more time than maybe anticipated or expected.
Mm-hmm. Um, Going back to Buddy's stats this year, he's not a terrible quarterback. If you look at his, because his sophomore or his junior year, he tossed 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions for 2,491 yards, which isn't bad. But this year, dude, 7 of 18 for 86 yards, 6 of 13 for 71 yards, and then 8 of 17 for 161 against Dixie or Utah Tech.
Mm.
6 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, very average.
Yeah, which I
That's so
mean,
average.
I
He's a
would
running
say,
quarterback for sure.
yeah,
He's definitely
exactly.
a
Like
running quarterback.
like he's I'm trying to think of one of those running quarterbacks kind of back in the day when we were in junior high and high school where they were just like straight running threats. A little bit of like a Tim Tebow ish where he could throw it, but the most damage he's going to do is with his legs. Obviously not that
Mm-hmm.
level where he's winning Heisman's and national championships, but that comes to mind a little bit of because I feel like there was a while there where there was a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL and in college football that were really just more running threats than anything else. Do you see that pick?
Dude, I can't stand it because the Cowboys every year, they're in the worst goddamn division. They're playing against the worst quarterback in the world. But yet
It was a free
They
play
win their
though.
division
Daniel
they win their
Jones.
division, and everyone thinks, oh, they're so good. No, they're not. They're just playing terrible ass teams. I get a lucky ass Daniel Jones. How do you
Daniel
not
just
make
threw a
that throw,
horrible
dude?
pick. Yeah, like he
Dude, he
had
missed
so
that
much.
by.
He had so
That's a
much
touchdown.
separation.
It's a touchdown.
Man.
Giants fans, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, man. Giants fans go through it. I feel like Giants fans are up there with kind of Jets fans, maybe Jacksonville. I
Oh,
don't know, some of
oh.
those other teams that are just perennially terrible.
Mm-hmm. The Carolina Panthers.
There you go. They
Jackson,
got the win
Jacksonville
last
Jag.
week,
I
though.
probably said that.
Yeah, that's a Jacksonville.
Yeah, veteran quarterbacks, dude. I'll tell you what. Veteran quarterbacks will do a lot for you in this league. Put a veteran QB in this offense, they'll win a couple games.
Which is what we
$100.
just said, dude. Like some of these quarterbacks, here's the thing. Some of these quarterbacks, like Sam Darnold, um, Andy Dalton, like
Ooh.
they kind of started to look like they were going to be backups
Mm-hmm.
and just put their time in as a backup, learned the NFL a little bit, and now they're winning games in the NFL. It's kind of wild.
Veterans, man, you gotta love it. You know, it's okay to sit your rookie quarterback like Atlanta's doing with Michael Penix, who
Mm,
was a very, 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 very good college quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he won the Heisman last year. So
he did.
did he? He
I
did.
think
So
so.
it's like it's okay to sit him. You got Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's not great, but Kirk Cousins is gonna win you some games off experience. Oh boy,
Oh no.
that's got to be a touchdown, my son. That's got to be a flag. Jesus Christ, that's got to be a tutty, Danny. Um, did you see? Have you been paying attention to the Mountain West thing? No, a whole
Oh
lot.
no, no. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Penix finished
Jaden
second.
Daniels did win the. That's right. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. Excuse
What?
me
You're
for
good.
I have misspoken.
What'd you ask me?
If you had seen the, if you had, if you've been following the Mountain West Pac-12 drama,
Just all the teams trading and whatever,
mm-hmm.
like trading spots, basically. I mean, yeah, I've
Yeah,
kept
I
track
mean,
of it a little bit, but I
essentially we
haven't. I
got
don't know what's
poached.
exactly going on.
So like we signed an agreement with obviously the Pac-12 two teams last year, Oregon State, good God, Oregon State and Washington State, to give them games from our conference, and we made them sign like put in like deals and fees and all this stuff in place so they couldn't poach us because everyone knew that that's what their goal was, is to try and rebuild the conference. And we or so that's when we lost those four or three teams, however, four teams.
Yeah, Boise
And
State and
so
San Diego State.
the conference is the Pac-12 has to pay an exit fee, or is paying the exit fee or poaching fees for taking on our teams. Well, they were also going to hit up the American Conference and try and get some teams out
Mm-hmm.
of them, like Memphis and stuff. Those conferences, that conference said no, we're not. No one's leaving that us. Like we're all, they're staying
Mm-hmm.
with us. So that kind of backfired on the Pac-12. So they tried to obviously get all of our teams again and whatnot. So they just got Utah State, and then we signed all our remaining 7 teams. But the funny part is they filed that lawsuit. The Pac-12 filed the lawsuit, and the Mountain West commissioner comes out and says, I mean, don't know what they're trying to sue us for, because everything that they're trying to sue for, they signed on paper. Remember
Mm-hmm.
our last conversation? They signed a
On
contract
paper.
on paper to that basically said all this stuff's legal. You guys agreed to it legally, and this is the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because, in my opinion, I don't think the Pac-12 saw this come. I don't think they saw it being this hard. I think they thought, oh, our name is going to buy us everything. Well, everyone knows that the Pac-12 isn't going to be Power Five school, a Power Five conference anymore. It's a Group Five conference, Group of Five. It's essentially the Mountain West. So I think it's funny. I think the lawsuit's stupid because they're going to lose that. No way they can win that.
Well, it's hard to it's hard to gain that traction back when they've lost all their best schools to the Big Ten and the ACC and whoever else. Like, we talked
Mm-hmm.
about this a little bit already, of like the fact that these California and West Coast teams are flying or whatever 4 or 5 times a season to go play teams on the Atlantic coast. Like, it's just such a different world than what we've been used to. And it just seems like the conference thing, it seems like the conference thing is just going to go away, I feel like.
It's going to be Power Five schools, Power Five conference, or league, and then it's going to be everything else. It's
Hmm.
going to be a Group Five league, and then I don't know. I agree with you though. I think that'll
Which do you
be
think
kind
like
of what it is.
do you think like if it does go to that where it's kind of just all of the Power 5 schools, whatever whoever those are, we know who a lot of them are, but like, do you think they'll still compete with kind of that next tier, or do you think they'll just break away and be like, screw you guys, we're going to just play ourselves all the time?
No, I think they'll just do that. I bet you they just play themselves. I bet you it turns into something like that with just money. I don't know. I Who knows? I mean, it's just a matter of if these smaller conferences and smaller schools can bring stuff to the table and bring marketability to the table. Can they bring, can they promote themselves? Can they bring money? At the end of the day,
Hmm.
can they bring money? It's really not about anything else but money. Um, oh my lord, I was gonna say something.
I want to
I
check.
forgot.
I put on our Instagram post. Oh, you know how you can do those polls on Instagram?
Oh, you pulled it.
No, no one voted on our polls. Gosh dang it. Well,
What?
your guys' is lost because it was cool, all right?
Oh, you did pull it. Oh, I didn't even realize that was hard to see.
See that? Yeah,
Oh,
you can't really tell.
well, I know who the rookie of the year is because it was deserved.
Caitlin Clark won
Okay,
it, didn't she?
can I just rant real quick? Whoever voted and gave Angel Reese a fourth place MVP vote, respectfully stop watching basketball.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, with all due respect, please retire from the game of ball.
Mm.
And that'll ruffle some feathers. I don't care because
Dude,
you can't tell me that she is one of the most valuable players in the NBA when her
no,
team isn't even in the playoff race. No,
no, not
sorry.
even
No.
close. Um, there's stuff like that every year that happens with those, like, I feel like it's with all the Associated Press voters that they have like an allegiance to a particular team, and they'll just basically throw a vote on someone that has no business receiving that vote because that's the best player that they think, and it's on their favorite team. Because
Either their general man.
I saw there was a breakdown of like, I can't remember where I saw this. It was Twitter or something, of like wild votes that were received in particular categories in the NBA, and it was always linked to like a writer or a GM or something like that voting for their favorite player on their team.
Yep. I think the players union should vote.
Yeah,
I
I think
believe
it
it's
should be a player
players
voted.
union, the players union or the
Coaches.
head coaches.
Yeah,
Head coaches. Because the
I
head coaches
agree.
aren't going to be as biased in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Cuz I'd rather trust the coaches poll on ESPN rather than AP poll. AP poll
Yeah,
be
I agree.
stupid as hell sometimes.
Yeah. They I feel like the associate and like here's my question. Why is the Associated Press the official decider of the top 25 in college athletics?
Probably
Why is that
money.
a thing? That just blows my
Money.
mind.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a great question.
Like, who gave them that authority? Why did we do that?
Whoever gave them that authority needs to be fired
It needs to be
if they're
punished.
still alive.
Oh, CD.
Oh
Dak,
my god,
that's why
dude.
you throw CD Lamb the ball. That's why you do it. CD Lamb was mad last week because Dak didn't
I
feel like
hate the
throwing him the
Cowboys.
ball. And now look what happens when you throw CD Lamb the ball. He's the best receiver in the game, arguably.
No. No.
I hope you know CD Lamb leads like many, many categories in receiving in the past few years in the NFL. Just so you know, just so you're aware.
Well, it's
And
really simple, especially with the Cowboys. Just, don't. Just
I'm not
a
even a
couple big
Cowboys
plays.
fan. I don't even like the Cowboys. But when you got a player like him, throw him the gosh dang ball. Look at
I
that.
hate
Nice
the
and
Cowboys
simple.
so much. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate Bama football.
You
Speaking of
hate
which,
Bama.
Georgia Bama this weekend. That's going to be awesome.
That's
Week
going to
4
be
of college
fun,
football
dude.
season. You got Georgia Bama.
That's going to
Is
be a
that going to
fun
be good?
time. I think it's 2
Four,
and
two at
4.
four,
Yeah.
2 at 4. Oh my god! Let me pull up the greatest weekend of college football. It is going to be. Is it this one? Oh, this is the greatest day of college football. Okay, just hear me out. So we got number 3 Ohio State at number 8 Oregon. We're gonna have Florida at number 5 Tennessee. That's gonna Florida can maybe be all right. Number 6 Ole
No.
Miss at number 14
Florida
LSU
Hold on, I'm going to stop you right
is
there.
booty.
Florida is going to get 30 pieced by Tennessee.
Tennessee is really good.
Yeah, they're nice.
Um, Number 9 Penn State at 13 USC.
Ooh.
Ooh, that'll be prime time just because of the team. It's number 23 Kansas State at Colorado.
Who
Not
are
terrible.
the who are the Cowpokes going to lose to this week? Air Force?
Oh, hold on. I'm
I
still
think
going
it's
through
Air
this one.
Force.
Oh, this coming weekend?
Yeah, the Cowboys play Air Force, I believe.
I'm talking about this. This will be October. This day that I'm talking about is October 12th.
Oh, so next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Because then you got Texas at number 1, Texas at Oklahoma. My God, that's a beautiful day. That's a beautiful slate. We got Air Force at home, 6 p.m.
I'm gonna plant
Start
my
spraying.
behind on the couch and watch just about every one of those games.
Oh, I'm gonna plant my behind on the couch again while we play Air Force and watch just a struggle fest. Man, I hope we can. Let's
I'm gonna
win one,
ask you
boys.
this,
Let's
dude.
win one.
So I saw that Jay Savell guy, our head coach for the Cowboys, he signed like a 5-year deal to start his contract. How many seasons do you think he makes it? Do you think he makes it through his first season in that contract before he gets fired?
Um, if we go winless,
He's getting fired. Come on,
Laramie
man.
will burn. Laramie will
Yeah,
burn.
yeah. I won't have a hometown anymore, dude.
Like we have to beat Colorado State. If we won one game and beat Colorado State, I think we'd be okay. I think he'd
No,
survive.
I think he would still get. I think because CSU ain't that good
Really?
either.
Yeah,
I think we would absolutely. The
boy.
town would
I
would be
just
in a riot.
well, the town is close to being in a riot. Good lord,
But I
dude.
guess the thing for me
The
is,
Boo Birds were coming out against
I know
BYU and
early.
Idaho. The first
Yeah.
home game, the Boo Birds were coming out.
Well, when you're putting up 7 points a game or whatever it was that they were putting up, it's hard to cheer for a team like that.
Hmm. What were you gonna say? You were on a rant before I rudely interrupted you.
Yeah, man, why would you do that?
I don't
I
know.
can't remember what I was gonna say. What were we talking about? I can't remember.
Talking about Wyoming, I think, dude. We are. If you go to ESPN and you go to stats for football, we are last or not last. There's Kent State, New Mexico State, then there's Wyoming Cowboys.
Hmm.
Let's put this into perspective for you. Can I put this into perspective for you?
By all
Kennesaw
means.
State, who is a brand new Division 1 team, is higher than us. But hey, we're in for a barn burner on Saturday because right above Kennesaw State is the Air Force Falcons.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Mountain West had like 3 or 4 teams in the bottom 25
Dude,
that college
not a
football
good
put
showing for
out.
the Mountain West.
Yeah, that's tough,
Um,
dude.
we averaged 212 yards per game, 500 or 129 passing yards a game, 82 rushing yards a game, a measly 12.8 points per game. My God.
Yeah, dude, we're not even putting the ball in the end zone twice per game.
But you know what I will say?
What?
I am excited for some Cowboy basketball.
Absolutely.
That's what I am really excited for.
Let's go Pokes, baby. It is going to be
Mm-hmm.
very fun to watch
In
that, man.
Sundance, we trust.
He'll get it rocking in there in the old Dome of Doom.
Oh, it's going to be the Dome of Doom again.
Um, quick question. Do you remember when the Cowgirls won at WNIT in like
Against
2008 or
Wisconsin, I
2007?
was in attendance.
So was
I
I,
watched
dude.
that game in
I was just
person
about to ask
because
you,
there's a
did you
tournament. There was a
I
youth
feel
tournament
like
that weekend.
yeah, there was. I feel like that's where it became the Dome of Doom. Because
Before that,
I distinctly remember the announcer like coined the phrase Dome of Doom during that WNIT run,
um,
if I'm not mistaken.
I think
Also,
it's
Bush, this is another little tangent, but it just made me think of this. Did you play on either the Gillette Grizzlies or the Gillette Hustle growing up?
Gillette Lightning. I hated both teams with passion. They're older than us. They were the Hustle,
That's
dude.
right.
Okay,
They
the
were my
Hustle was
grade. They were our
nice. The
rivals, dude.
Hustle was
The Hustle was
nice.
good. The Hustle was good.
they were
Woo, they were good.
Jake Bratton. Remember Jake Bratton?
Mm.
What's crazy about him? He played at Natrona. He went to Natrona. He ended up at Natrona.
Oh, did
A
he?
little guard for.
Mm.
He played when he was there when you were there. You
I
might not
don't
remember
remember
him though.
him.
But like the thing about him is like, and no offense to him, but like because you see this all the time. Like the hustle had a lot of kids that peaked quick, and so they
Yeah, they were
dominated
really good
kids.
really early.
But they held that peak for a long, like a good amount of time, because Weston played on the hustle. Um, Jacoby Johnson played on the hustle. He didn't end up playing varsity ball. He quit after his junior year, but there was some dudes on that team. The Grizz, we ended up beating them one time because we were a grade younger than them. Hustle would always we could keep it kind of close with the hustle, but they ended up they would whoop our ass every time, like just whoop it.
I
The
remember we
Grizz
would
beat
just
us
have
bad a couple times, and we beat them once.
we'd have bloodbaths with the Grizzly, but we could never beat the Hustle. They were super good.
Oh yeah, um, we ran into the hustle. Dude, the hustle was cool. I love their jerseys. Those gold and purple
Weren't they
jerseys.
purple?
So
Yeah.
sick. They're so clean.
And the
But
Grizzlies
no,
were like
that's
green and black or something like that, or green and white and black.
yep, yep. I liked no, I remember that because we played like a game and then we had to go. Then we went to the game. Uh
Hmm.
and they played Wisconsin and they handled Wisconsin pretty good. That was
They
fun.
did.
That was cool. That was a cool setting. Like that was one of the best settings I've been in for basketball.
I hadn't seen the double A rocking like that since like Dante Richardson and Josh Davis and Marcus Bailey and those teams that went to the NCAA tournament.
Hmm.
Like there
My
was a
dad said
big
that it
drought
was.
there. There was a big drought in Wyoming basketball there for about 5, 6 years.
My dad said when he was in school, it would go crazy for big games. It's nuts because they need to have they need to do something, and I think Sundance will do it. But they need to get better student engagement at basketball games because
Well,
they
I
show
think
out for the football games.
but I think they did like they had back when like even with Larry Nance and Josh Adams and all them, they had great crowds with those teams. So like I think it's just with any program, if you show promise and you show you're going to compete and win some games, they'll show up for you.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
and
Laramie's, I mean, you know this dude.
it's a product of
Laramie
location.
isn't exactly. Laramie isn't it's not um Durham, North Carolina, or whatever, or you know, whatever these places are that they pack out the stadium or the arena every single game. Like that's just not doable in Laramie, especially with the size of the arena. Like that's a
Yeah, I was gonna say if we
15,000.
had a smaller,
Yeah,
I think it's bigger than it's big.
it's about
If it was a little
15.
bit smaller, pack out, but who knows? I mean, I think if it was in even if it was in Casper, I don't know if it'd be easier to get to games for people up north because it's more set. It'd be more center located. Which side note, they need to start doing that again, bringing a game back to Casper. That was good. That's something that was cool. I remember when they brought Wichita State up. They
They used
lost
to
by
do
like
it in
14 or
Sheridan
something like
too.
that, but I think that was cool. But
They used to
oh
bring
no,
that. They used to play a game up in Sheridan, and I don't know if they did it in Gillette as well, but would play up at Sheridan College for a game. I think it was an exhibition though. Like they would always play like MSUB or something like that. But yeah, they got to
those
get
are
the
always
whole state
fun.
involved.
It's just tough. It's tough. I mean, I know that's what Linder's biggest complaint was, but I mean, man, it's still hard to get a lot of people to come out on a Wednesday night game in Laramie. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
Laramie's
exactly.
small.
It is.
Students got to show out to those games. But nevertheless, I still think that the attendance will rise. The attendance will be up this year at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of hype around Sundance. Just with
Sundance
he
will
had the
bring the
greatest
juice,
turnaround.
man.
He has the greatest turnaround. He has the greatest turnaround in Division I basketball history.
Mm-hmm. Is it the
Took a
greatest
team
or
from
is it one of
literally.
them?
I mean, they were last place. They were last place,
Because I know he
and they
was.
were. It's one of the greatest, I would say. I
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
maybe not the greatest, but one of, because single season turnarounds. Because I
Let's
think they
look
won like one
here.
game.
Reddit always does the job.
They went 3-29 the year before he got there.
Mm-hmm.
2-18. Oh Jesus, 2-18 in conference. Last year they finished 18-14, 13-7 in conference. So.
Mm. Yeah, man, he's gonna get Laramie rocking. I know he will.
Mm-hmm. But no, that's all I got. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Let's watch this
Keep
football
it a
game,
short
man.
one. My stomach is grumbling. I'm hungry.
You got boo-boo guts or something, or what?
No, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
You got bubble guts?
No bubble guts.
Better check his undies.
Gassy. Bubble guts means you're gassy. I'm not gassy. I'm just hungry.
Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say.
All right,
I know
y'all.
you're nasty, man.
Episode 48. Just tune this guy out. Don't believe anything he says. This guy took
49.
10,
Episode
15,
49.
20 minutes to get ready to go jump in lake water. Had to wash his face to go jump in lake water. So
I gotta exfoliate. I've told you this already, dude. Exfoliation is key.
But just okay. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.